Well, hello again. Two more pages left in this, I guess, notebook. Actually, it's more of a drawing pad. It's not a notebook. I don't know why I keep on calling it notebook. So yeah, two more pages left, including the one that I'm working on today. And like I mentioned last week, I am bringing the other Graphos pen that I have. And funny thing that happened here, I kind of use I guess you would call it the tool that removes the SD card from the phones. You gotta push in there. I don't even know what to call them. And I've been using this one for a while in order to remove that feed from the pen, and I decided to because he was on camera, have a dramatic feat and break in two. Fortunately, there was still a knob at the end of that thing, and I was able to just pull a little bit of feed, and then using my fingers, I was able to actually remove it. So yeah, it's definitely a tighter fit, as I mentioned last week, on this pen, and I decided to use one of the older nibs that came with the set. And obviously the rOtring ring that I decided to use it last week, and everything worked out pretty good. I'm showing again how you fill it up in here. No issues or funny accidents happened. Actually, everything worked out pretty good. The ink, I'm not sure if the ink is actually evaporating in the bottle. It feels like it's a little bit less than what I remember, but since I have been using it in a while, maybe it's been going down by itself because while I was using it. Anyway, back to the pen. So like I was saying, the fitment of the feed is a little bit tighter on this pen, specifically when you remove it. And this is one of the reasons why I probably had issues when I was trying to save it to actually free that feed out of it. It feels that the feed is a little bit different. It has the same design, but it definitely feels like it was handmade. So I guess with these pens, you will have some possible fitment issues if you would move a feed from one pen to another, or as I discovered during this drawing, you'll have different flow. Using the old nib, for whatever odd reason, the flow was pretty bad. It wasn't really working. So I ended up actually switching back to the newer nib. I thought that maybe I didn't clean up the nib properly, or there was something on it that required a better cleaning performance, so to speak. And I went back to the newer nib. And on the newer nib, the flow was actually excellent. Actually, way too much that I needed for my drawing types. The flow, I don't know if you remember and if you've seen the last videos, usually when I was putting the nib on the pen, it took a while for the ink to flow. With this one though, it started right away. So I think, based on my experience throughout the entire day, the entire issue was because of the feed. Now, I don't know for sure. So what I'm planning to do next week, I'm gonna go back to the other pen with that feed, use the same ink and the same nib that I end up using, which is the newer version, and see if the issue is actually because of the nib or maybe of the feed or the ink. I've changed way too many variables to be 100% sure. New pen, new feed, new ink. So I'm gonna try and keep it more consistent. I'm just gonna change the pen and the feed, but keep the nib and ink the same. And that will be my conclusions with Graphos next week on the last paper of this drawing pad. Speaking of going into the drawing, as usual, as you probably know by now, I don't really have an actual plan when I start these drawings. So I kind of started in the middle and did like a weird twist, and then a bird of some sort started to come into my head, like it has its head turned, but you see it from the back. And I worked with that. During the drawing, though, I had to change my lines, consistency, and how I was going with it a couple of times because the ink flow was so rich and sometimes even unpredictable because of the ink. This ink tends to dry up a little bit. I mean, not extremely fast, not as the octopus ink that I have, but fast enough. And when basically the ink was started to dry up on the sides of the nib, then it was impeding the flow of the ink a little bit. So I had to kind of clean it every now and then. You'll see me either changing the nib because I was curious to see if I can still use the old one. So I changed the nibs a couple of times. It's so easy to change the nibs in these pens. It's quite amazing. Like I said, I'm really surprised that nobody brings these things back because I love them. Anyway, so I was basically cleaning the sides of the nib to bring back the flow because the ink was drying up. But as I was doing the drawing, I got into the rhythm of it, and then I started to actually use the sides of the pen a little bit more, specifically for areas where I wanted to bring more darkness, where I was trying to bring more dark values, so to make it look like it's, void of light, or the light is missing of some sorts. And yeah, I mean, not much to say about the drawing. It was definitely the same experience-ish, just with a wetter outcome, so to speak. And that brings me to the actual drawing. I'm not sure what I drew. Like I said, I had this bird in my head, but I didn't know looking up at pictures to see how an actual bird from the back with its head turned looks like. So I kind of, fill in the blank spaces and let the nib just do the work. I was trying to actually get something accurate out of it, more or less accurate. Didn't turn out like that, and then I was just focusing on the lines and just trying to bring some twists and interesting elements to it. So in the end, definitely not an accurate bird, but then again, I don't do real life drawings, or better said, accurate drawings. I kind of let myself inspire by what I see on the page. I might have been carried out a little bit too much with the lines in there. I keep on forgetting that I need to bring color afterwards, and in theory, I should use the color to shade the bird as well, not just the lines of the pen. But the way I see it, sometimes it's just colors brings a little bit more of a oomph to it rather than define my drawing. In the end, these are drawings with some color on top of it, or at least that's how I see my art at this point in time. For color-wise, as you'll see me, it feels like I'm in a blue period. Basically, it's a repeat from last week. A lot of blues, some purples, and a little bit of black purple or black blue into it. And obviously a lot of splotches. Turned out interesting. It feels a little bit more simple, more maybe not as interesting as my other drawings, or at least to me. I'll let you decide that. I think I screwed up. Well, actually, I don't think I screwed up anything, because in the end, I wasn't trying to do anything accurate. It just turned out different. It feels different from my usual drawings, or at least I guess monster. Can you even call it a monster in this case? Anyway, so not a lot of things to say about this one. Very simple, very straightforward, interesting changes in the pen. I'll figure out next week if it's the pen itself or just the feed or maybe the ink. And I don't know. Next week, last page of this drawing pad. Should be interesting. Yeah, not much else to say. I wanted to give an apology. So if you are by any chance an Instagram subscriber as well, you would have seen a real weird post coming from me. I usually only post drawings and very rare some pictures on my Instagram account. But yesterday, on Canada Day, I think not my actual account, somehow they found a way to post under my name on my main page. But my account didn't really got hacked because I had access to it. I was able to change the password. I was able to do anything that I could. It's just somehow something posted a post like I would have, and sent a bunch of messages to a lot of you or a lot of people that are subscribed to my Instagram account, and I wanted to apologize for that. I have no explanation as to what happened. That was 100% not me. I don't even invest in crypto. I don't even care about crypto. So yeah, that was 100% on me, and I apologize if you got spammed with that. Changed my password, changed a lot of things in there, and I was able to, I guess, hopefully stop that from future. But I have a feeling that somehow their databases got hacked somehow, and people were able to do things around the login. But that's just an assumption. Obviously, I do not know 100% sure. Anyway, as you'll see me here, I'm just going into the actual painting side of things. I do like this light blue that I have in my color set of the fountain pens in here. And it combines very well with the actual purple. It's very interesting. I try to do like a wet in wet, basically merge between the blue and the purple, and somewhere between that purple and that blue, I got some really nice, vibrant, purplish, blueberryish, almost like colors. And yeah, it's so nice to have an ink, a drawing ink that doesn't smudges when you bring water into it or bleaches, because my colors are finally vibrant and clear. So I don't think I will ever use Noodler's Black for quote-unquote paintings like this, because it feels like it darkens my colors more than it should. Anyway, running out of things to say. I'm also pretty much at the end here. This drawing felt like it had more splotches than any other of my drawings, which I kind of like it. It kind of brings everything together. Oh, one risky thing that I did use orange again, and somehow it actually worked out. I'm actually happy with this one, at least how the colors combine. Maybe with the other one was because the colors were darker than they should have, and they weren't true to what they were supposed to be, and that's why they end up maybe muddy. Which, by the way, that was my 3 drawings ago. Anyway, I think I'll stop here. The drawing is done. I really enjoyed it. A little bit different in a way than my actual monsters. I'm not sure what next week will bring, but like I said, I'll go back to the graphos that I used from the set. I will only change the ink, and I will use the same, and the feed obviously. No, I'll use the same ink. The only difference will be the feed, because the pen it's pretty much the same. It's just the feed that I assume, or most probably handmade, it's what will change the flow of the pen, since I will use the same nib. Anyway, rambling. I mean, it's part of my identity here on YouTube, but maybe too much is not good enough. So I'll stop here. Thank you for joining me. Again, apologies for those Instagram users for that spam. Hopefully it won't happen again. And I hope I'll see you again next week. Until then, I wish you nothing but the best and a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.